Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are introducing our baby to you guys, and he was born on the 6th of August at 10:49 p.m. His name is Liam James. He was born 8 pounds exactly, and he was 21 inches long, so he's a bit long, right?
Yeah.
Right? And 8 pounds. Could you guys imagine if I went the 3 weeks more? Could have been like a 9-pound baby, or 10, who knows?
He'd have been a big one.
And then, oh, Lexi's smacking her tail. A lot of you wanted to know how we came up with the name Liam, or why we chose Liam for the name. So, number one, we just liked the name. It was on our list for a very long time, and we loved it. And then my mom also really likes it. She was like, oh, you should name him Liam, but she likes it because it's the name of somebody on one of the soap operas she watches. So that was also thrown in there. There were a couple of other names that we really liked, and my mom is ruthless when it comes to names. Like, I can't tell you how many names I said. Oh, God.
What do you want to name him that for?
I love you, mom, if you're watching. But yeah, she was something else. So we loved the name, and then
she was the same mom that didn't want you to get married in a prison either.
Yeah, that's true. But then she loved the prison when she got there. She's like, it's like a castle. So it all makes sense. But yeah, so that's how we came up with little Liam.
Yeah.
And then James, my dad's name is James, and so is my brother. So that's where the middle name comes in. I know you guys have been very excited to see him, so we're very excited to share him with you. I know that you guys sent a lot of prayers for him, and along the IVF journey, it was quite a journey, and now he's here. So he's kind of fussy at the moment. He just ate. He's been burped. He's been changed. All the things. Say hi. Oh, it's okay. So.
Usually after eating and getting changed and all that stuff, we put him in a egg chair that moves around and does all kinds of stuff. He loves that chair. So I think he's probably missing his chair.
He just stuck the middle finger up. That was a joke in the hospital. He did that to somebody on our way out. Hi.
I think that was me when I was driving past him.
Do you want to say hi to everybody? Yeah. You want to say hi? We're in tight quarters over here. But here he is. Say hi. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
He has beautiful blue eyes. He has Larry's beautiful blue eyes. His hair's looking really light on camera. Here's a better, because of the window right next to us. It's a light brown, I would say. Sometimes it looks, I think, light brown.
Mine's looking a little light on camera, too.
Larry and I are obviously a bit sleep deprived, and, you know, so bear with us. But we're hanging in there.
I think sleep deprived is when you stay up late and you binge watch Breaking Bad. But I don't think you call it sleep deprived when you got this little one here.
No? What do you call it then?
Just,
newborn tired?
Yeah.
So I asked over on Instagram if you guys had any questions for the video with introducing little Liam to you guys. And you sent a lot of questions in. So Larry and I are going to do our best to go through as many as possible. We picked the most popular ones.
Could you ever have dreamed of loving someone so much? Congratulations, he's amazing.
Thank you. Yes. He is definitely amazing. And no, it is crazy how much you like love this little tiny human that, I don't know, it's insane. The amount of love is insane that you have for him.
And it's going to last forever.
Yeah.
How are you doing with your platelets since having the baby? Is shortness of breath getting better?
Yeah, so my shortness of breath is gone. I can breathe. So we'll see, like, when I'm talking in videos, let me know if you guys notice if I'm, like, able to have a conversation now. But the platelets, I do have to go back and get tested. I was supposed to have an appointment with the oncologist last week. Totally missed it. They were very sweet, very understanding. I never just don't show for an appointment, but I did. I did one of those moments last week. So we are rescheduled. They were very sweet about it. And then we're going to check my platelets again and see where I'm at with my iron and platelets and all the good stuff. So I will keep you guys updated on that.
And some of you guys even sent her platelets.
Oh yeah, the P.O. box. I got a little platelet plushie. It was the cutest thing ever. Made my day.
This is a good one for you because she's very back sensitive. And the question is, does the epidural hurt? I'm pregnant and due in January, and I'm terrified of needles. Did you write this?
Yeah, sounds like me. Don't feel alone, because I think a lot of people are terrified of needles, especially when it's going into your spine. There's just something about that. I'm very spine sensitive. Like if Larry gives me a massage and he touches my spine, I freak out. And then I have like back issues in general, but painful, no, just kind of weird. Like it's a pressure type feeling, but what's painful is when you're getting contractions during your epidural, and they're usually, I mean, they're intense, and you're not supposed to move at all. Okay, we don't want this anymore. Cool. Which is fine, because we were having a fit, but now we're totally loving life. But the contractions are really bad, and they don't want you moving during those, during the contractions when you're trying to get your epidural. So just try to remain calm, try to focus on your breathing. The other thing is, if you ask, they will give you a medication through your IV before receiving your epidural. I did. I said, look, I am terrified of needles. Plus they were telling me like the horror stories and what ifs if I did receive an epidural, due to the fact that I had thrombocytopenia and the things that could happen if things did not go well with the epidural. So I was kind of nervous in general, and they gave me something to help relax me. So if you want that, definitely request that.
You were a bit loopy.
I was a bit loopy. All of a sudden I looked up and the whole room was doing this, and I was like, oh my gosh.
You were doing that.
You all were sitting still. I looked up at the nurse girl, who was so sweet. Love her. Her name was Tiff.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked up at her, and her whole body in my eyes was going up and down. I was like, whoa. But I was still also very aware of contractions and the nerves, but it kind of took the edge off.
And the anesthesiologist was very helpful, and
was
explaining everything in detail so that she could understand what was going on. And what?
He's smiling.
Ah.
They would love to see that. Show them your smile. Hi. Hi, Liam. You gonna show them your big smile?
Let's see it. Where is it? Where's that smile? Where's that smile?
There it is. Yay. No, you guys got to see his little smile, which has really been developing over, I'd say, the last 2-3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, how many days old is he as we're filming this? 11?
Yeah.
You're 11 days old today. How is it going so fast?
But if you've not had an epidural and you're concerned about it, you don't want to do a lot of sudden movements or anything, I was terrified she was going to do that, because it was obviously on the spine.
Well, that's why I was so like hyper focused on. In the pictures, you can see I'm like totally like squishing the crap out of my face and my whatever I was holding in my hand, because I didn't want anything to go wrong. But yeah, if you're terrified, you'll get through it. It will be okay. Trust me, epidural is 100% worth it, in my opinion. Makes a huge difference.
Picture a map on your back, and the target is St. Louis. And they go to put the beginning of the procedure in St. Louis, and you jump, and now the procedure is being started up in Canada somewhere. Not a good thing.
Not a good thing.
No. Maybe TMI, but did you happen to tear while delivering?
I did. It was rather unpleasant. I mean, I couldn't feel it during, but the healing process, I'm going to be 100%. You guys know I always am. It is going to be a very honest video. I'm going to tell you exactly how it is and how I feel. So yes, I did tear all the way from, I think it was a level 2 tear is what they call it, or something like that. But besides tearing, the doctor also cut, snip, snip. So all
There's
the way.
There's a name for that. I forget what it is.
Yeah, all the way from vagina to anus ripped. So we are all stitched up, and the first couple of days were rough. I'm 10 days postpartum. Now I feel like this immense pressure in my vagina is what it feels like. Heavy, heavy pressure. But hopefully it will get better. The first couple of days were terrible. I ripped a stitch at his first doctor's appointment.
Terrible?
Terrible. but it gets better. You just have to ride it out, ride out the wave. Right, bud?
And she was pushing for everything, every ounce, every bit of energy she had for 25, 30 minutes. And it just, you could see a little bit of the top of his head and his hair, and he just wasn't having it.
It was really weird to like feel him come out. I remember when we went back to the doctor after he was born, the doctor said, even during delivery, he was like, yeah, that last push didn't help us, because he kind of just, I pushed really hard and then he flew out. Like, he made the joke saying, it's a good thing I'm a good catcher. Larry and this doctor are amazing. They're the funniest people. You can't not laugh when those two get together and start talking. But yeah, it was definitely rough. But I could feel him literally just sliding out like butter. Once he came out, you were coming out.
He was out.
But yeah, when you push that hard, guys, if you've pushed and you've been pregnant, then you know. But if you don't know, which I didn't know going into it, I thought my head was going to explode, like legitimately pop off. My neck was super sore for days after. And I was like, oh my God, please don't give myself a migraine from pushing. But all your goal is to get him out. And when you know that he's literally sitting right there for like 30 minutes, you start to get like concerned and worried. Of course they're okay. The doctor's monitoring all of that and making sure, but you as the mom are trying to just push and get them out to make sure that they're okay. So that's what we did.
Yeah, he was on a mission after that.
Yeah, he was.
His head came out. I said, there's heads. And before I could finish that, there's tails. And he's out.
Tails.
When did you go to the hospital, and when did you get to leave the hospital?
You want to answer that one?
Yes. We got there really early because he wasn't due until the 19th of August. And there was some things going on that I think she's told you about, and they wanted us to go to the office and have another ultrasound done.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that, and the doctor came in, and he goes, here's some options. And one of the options was do nothing, come back Monday, and we'll do the whole process over again. Or go to the hospital, get admitted. I'll let them know you're on your way. And when you leave the hospital, you'll have a baby.
Yeah.
I was like, So I was kind of leaning towards that option of going to the hospital. Weren't quite sure. We thought Monday's just a few days away. What.
Yeah, this was Friday the 5th that we had the ultrasound appointment. So we would have had to go through Saturday and Sunday before either making this decision to either go into labor that Friday or wait till Monday and have another ultrasound because of low amniotic fluid. So
we asked the guy in the know, the doctor, if this was your daughter or a family member that you had, what would your advice be to her? He says, if it was my daughter, she wouldn't leave my sight. I was like, I'm pretty sure we're going to the hospital.
Yeah.
So short drive over to the hospital, got admitted, minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And they put us in a room that was kind of a prep triage kind of thing.
Nice room.
Yeah. Big room. And then they took us over into the room that Liam was actually delivered in.
Mm-hmm.
And nice room. Everything was great. That was Saturday. Sunday there was you got examined, he got examined. They did some tests on Liam with his hearing and stuff. Monday rolled around. It looked like it was probably going to be...
Was Sunday when we found out he had jaundice?
Yeah.
So he had medium to high risk for jaundice. So we did have to go under the lights. And then on that Monday, I keep looking back at the calendar, we got to come home on the 8th. It was very questionable. We were either going to have to stay at the hospital another day if his levels increased. If they decreased, we were going to be able to come home. So we ended up going home on Monday the 8th at, what was it, like 9 p.m.?
We got discharged at 9 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Wow, you got to come home.
A couple different treatments for jaundice, and one of them, the one he had, they don't put lights over, I guess, like they used to in the olden days.
Yeah, or they might, but he didn't have to have that
He
quite extent.
He didn't have that. He had a blue light. I made fun of it being a blue light special, but that's before her time. She didn't know what that was. But it almost looks like Back to the Future. It's this big fiber optic cable that runs alongside of this family truckster crib that they have him in at the hospital. And then he gets wrapped in this thing that the light goes to, so he's got this blue aura around him where he's kind of glowing, and they put this fly mask over his head. So,
Larry's description. I mean, it pretty much looked like that. I'll insert a picture somewhere on the screen so you guys can see. But that was kind of stressful too, because when you're in labor and delivery, everybody's like right there taking care of you, everything else like that. And I feel like once the baby comes, you get moved to a different room, and then you're in the postpartum recovery room. And then you're not left alone because people are constantly coming in and checking, but it's pretty much like you need to figure out parenthood now. Of course, you can ask them questions and they're there and they're very supportive, but it's like you're all of a sudden, obviously, because you just had a baby, you are thrown into the world of parenthood right then and there. And I remember trying to like pick him up and breastfeed him because I was learning how to breastfeed and everything like that, which is very difficult when you're in the hospital, and it can be very frustrating and very overwhelming. So give yourself grace. Take deep breaths, give yourself time, because baby is learning and you are learning. It was definitely an adventure. I don't know where I was going with that. I've lost my train of thought.
well, it's one of those things too with breastfeeding is, and I'm not speaking from experience, what starts out painful as you stick with it, pain goes away. Well, it doesn't really go away.
Look at me. He's right though. Like, they gave me this Medela handheld pump, and I tried to pump with that thing in the hospital. Oh my God, it was excruciating. And then I was like, yeah, no, I quit. I'm not doing that. I'm not using that pump. I'll just use the little nipple shield and we'll figure that out. And now I'm able to use it. Like, the first couple of pumps hurt pretty bad. And then it, like, all of a sudden it goes away, and then you're just, you know, but they're still a little sore, but it's okay. It's okay. It's all for a little man. So, hi.
How was the moment when he first laid on your chest? Did you feel different than expected?
I didn't feel different than expected. It felt incredible. It felt amazing, and it almost felt like it wasn't real, like it wasn't happening. And I know that sounds weird. For me, it was a huge relief, and I couldn't believe that he was actually here. And it was really cute to have him on my chest and have him here. So that's how I felt. And how did you feel?
I think it's just a relief for you going through all the stress of the birthing process and pushing and all the things that are related to that.
Very good point.
And once he comes out, it's just such a relief that he's out and he's okay. And they put him on you, and you know that, okay, all that pain and all that pushing and the stress and everything is over now. I can relax. And I don't know how much relaxed you get after going through something like that, but I think that was very helpful to be able to put him on you. And
so the camera just shut off, so we overheated. But what I was saying was, there was a certain point, was it probably the last minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes of pushing, that I started getting that overwhelmed and I almost started to cry. And I was starting to say, I can't do this, I can't do it. Those words came out of my mouth, and those are not words that ever come out of my mouth. I never, ever say I can't do it. That was something that I learned in sports. That's just something that I don't say. So for me to say it, I was very overwhelmed and tired, and it is a lot. But then, suddenly, with the encouragement of Larry and the sweet nurse and the doctor and everybody, encouragement and support in the labor and delivery, I can't even speak. Labor and delivery room are so important, and I had that, which helped me do those final pushes in those final minutes, because pushing is so tiring, isn't it? Well, isn't it? Anybody who's pushed, it is rough.
And somebody, it wasn't me, had a pizza sub sandwich.
Oh my God. That is a big running joke now. This one, I was 1.5 centimeters dilated. Nothing was happening yet. All was well. Larry goes and gets us Subway, which I had mentioned in a vlog, in the labor and delivery vlog. And I'm like, well, he's probably not coming until tomorrow, so it's fine. So Larry gets me this wonderful pizza sub from Subway, loaded with cheese, tomato sauce, banana peppers, pepperoni, all the things. And literally, I ate that sandwich, got up from my bed, went to the bathroom, and my water broke. And then I had acid reflux really bad when I was pushing, so they literally shoved Tums in my mouth while pushing in labor, because I was nearly vomiting when I was pushing. So that was an experience too. You've got the Luna?
I've got the Luna.
Hi, Luna.
How is Liam sleeping?
How is Liam sleeping? Liam is sleeping very well, actually. So he did lose a little bit of weight, which is normal. He was 8 pounds in hospital, and then he was 7'10" when we left the hospital, and then at his first doctor's appointment, he was 7'8". So they do have us feeding him every 2 hours. We are up with him feeding. He was drinking 2 ounces. Now he's up to 2.5 ounces. And Larry and I had like 2 nights where he did not sleep at all. He was up 6 hours straight. We didn't get any sleep. And then suddenly he's starting to lay down and sleep. Sassy Luna.
It's past dinner time.
Yeah, he's starting to sleep well through those periods. So we get up, change him, feed him, lay him back down in his swaddle, back to bed we go. And then it starts all over again in like an hour and 20 minutes or an hour and a half, because that's how long it takes to feed and change.
What impresses you the most about Larry as a partner to a new mom and a father so far?
He's just amazing. He's super supportive. So he gets up, he helps me with dishes, he helps me with the vacuum cleaner. If I ask him for something, he grabs it for me. There's nothing bad to say. He's just the most amazing partner and very supportive I could ever ask for. So thank you very much for that.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Love you bunches.
Love you bunches.
Thank you.
We love each other bunches.
We do.
Do y'all think you'll have another one?
Great question. Ask me in a few months, because I assumed yes, absolutely, until your vagina tears and you're in pain and then you're extremely sleep deprived, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, maybe one and done? I don't know. We'll see.
You had the other health issues too, with the transfusions and all the other stuff going on.
Yeah, the infusions and stuff.
Yeah,
I got that confused in the beginning too. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure. Angela and I, my best friend and I, were just talking about this. We both asked each other the same question, and we will see. But they are the best blessings in the world, and we love them so much. But you might, who knows? Will you end up with a brother or sister? We don't know. We'll see.
Transfusions and infusions could be confusing.
Very confusing.
What was it like finally being able to bring little Liam home?
Incredible. I mean, how else? I don't know how else to describe it. It just felt amazing. I was so excited to be able to walk him through the door and be like, this is your home. This is where you stay. This is where you live. This is where you're safe and sound. And because all they know is the hospital for a few days. They don't know what's going on. And then you can finally bring them home. And we really wanted to go home. Like, you get to a certain point once they're out that you want to go home so bad. And that's where we were at. And it was amazing to be able to take him with us.
That's the goal.
And bring him home.
Go to the hospital and have him be born. And then once you reach that, then it's, okay, we want to leave the hospital and go home.
Yeah, that's, as soon as they're out, everybody's like, you have that one day of like recovery, but then you're like, okay, when can we go home? Are we go home yet? But of course, they want to make sure that they're healthy and everything is fine before you take them home. So, but yeah, it was an incredible experience to bring them home.
I think if she would have enjoyed the hospital food a little bit more, she would have been okay with another stay.
I eat whatever food comes to my face, but that hospital food, oh man. We it was okay.
Okay. Have you had any anxiety with having to adjust your daily routines?
I've had like spells of like feeling anxious. The daily routine has not been figured out yet. I don't really think there is one. You're just kind of still learning, because he's only 11 days old. So we're trying to figure that out. Finally had my first cup of coffee the other day, and trying to get back to editing and get into a routine. But before you know it, the whole day is gone. It's like, where did it just go? Especially with the 2-hour feedings. And when I'm editing and watching him, he had his first day in the office with me the other day. It was really cute. And
bring your son to work day.
Yeah, I looked down and I'm like, holy crap, it's time to feed you already. Like, it just goes so fast. I wouldn't say anxiety so much, but it is an adjustment. I will not deny that. It is a lot. It is hard, and it is an adjustment.
I think the biggest thing is, before, you could make your cup of coffee, you could kind of have downtime, you could plan out your day, so to speak, with what you were going to do. And,
oh yeah, you could do whatever you want and have the freedom to do whatever you want when you want.
But now,
it's gone.
You still have your cup of coffee, but if you sat down to think, how am I going to sort out my day, it's you're going to have to do the laundry because the laundry's going to need to be done. So you're doing laundry. And while that's going, then you're doing something else. It's kind of, you're always on the move now because if you don't do something, it's not going to get done.
And you're never going to get to finish that coffee. I haven't finished 1 cup of coffee yet. And it's always cold, so.
We went dim again.
Yeah, it's because it's overheating again. It's because we're near this window.
Did he turn out looking like you had expected? He's absolutely beautiful and so handsome.
So, thank you. Thank you, by the way. So we didn't really have an expectation of how he would look. I did always say I wanted him to have Larry's blue eyes. He definitely has Larry's blue eyes so far. And I never knew how he would look. I had no idea. Like, the whole pregnancy, I would look at Larry and be like, I wonder what he's going to look like. Wonder who he'll look like. A lot of you ask like who he does look like and if you can see baby pictures of Larry and I. Larry doesn't have any baby pictures of him for us to compare, so that's difficult. But not until you were 2. So I have a couple of infant, and he does look like me in certain. I can see my brother in him a little bit too. I think that he's a really good mix between Larry and I think he has mixtures of both, but again, it's hard to tell right now.
Yeah, I had to wait for the picture industry to catch up with my birth. So
that's not true. Oh gosh, you're so funny.
They just wiped out about 10 comments that these people were gonna make.
You're setting facts straight.
Do you allow the kitty cats next to him, and how do they behave around him? Congratulations.
Thank you. Very monitored.
Yes.
Lexi, a lot of you have been asking how they've done with him. I am so shocked. It was actually the exact opposite of what I thought it would be. Lexi is like a mother hen and watches over him and stares at him. Luna is very interested but very skittish. Like, she'll stick her nose near him and then flinch, especially if he makes a noise.
What is the most used baby item for Liam?
Diapers, bottles, boob, Desitin.
Yeah.
Or monkey butt.
Yeah.
I would say those are the most used items.
And his different clothes.
Oh my gosh, the clothes. You know, yeah, boys, when you change them, you better be prepared. So we're starting to learn that too, but we're getting it.
Yeah, the best thing is when he pees and it gets between that tiny little crack and gets on whatever he's wearing. So you take that off and you have a fresh one sitting there next to where you're changing him. And he pees while he's being changed. And it finds that new thing you're going to put on him.
It's
Well, I only brought one.
It is so funny. Sorry, bud.
Good aim. What have you had to purchase off Amazon since birth?
Quite a few things, actually. I think I'll save that for the next vlog instead of going into it here. I'll actually show you guys the stuff because I'm not really in the spot to be able to show you. But I'll save that for the next video, like the first home vlog video that we upload.
Yeah. Assembly required.
That's all him.
We got it.
Look at this little snoozer.
He is a snoozer.
Thank you so much for watching. Say bye, Liam. Bye. We'll see you guys again in the next video. Bye.
Bye.